Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing the celebrated second-generation Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph. 42.5 millimeters in red gold. The watch measures a delightfully slim 12.6 millimeters thick. At 50.4 millimeters lug-to-lug, you're going to love the way this watch fits because unlike subsequent versions of the Overseas and other integrated bracelet sports watches, the bracelet pulls straight down rather than fighting you and flaring at the lugs. You can pull it straight down around a small wrist. And I have a small wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see this watch wears beautifully. 12.6 millimeters is quite thin. Think of a Rolex Daytona. That's about 12.3 millimeters. So this is 0.3 of a millimeter within range of a Daytona, meaning you can easily slide this watch underneath a dress sleeve. And you can see my cuff is low, the watch side is sloped, and the watch sits low on the wrist. It's also a fantastic fit, so even if your wrist is 14 centimeters in circumference, you're still going to find this watch wears well, but it wears massively. You can really feel the gold in this watch. Part of the reason is that the bracelet itself is just so solid. Look at these individual links. It's like a battleship anchor chain rendered in rose gold. Now, I have to say, the finish is world class. Alternately satinated and polished, you can see the use of the polish, specifically with these sharp interior facets of the links, is extraordinary and laborious. There's a bevel polished along the flank. You can see the outer faces are polished, and then the satination perfectly aligns from link to link. There's a Maltese cross-like motif down the center of the links, and you can see, in order to find the perfect size, on both sides of the bracelet, every individual link is removable, and as you can see, there's also a half link for precise sizing, so you're gonna find a good fit. Double deployant, it is a twin trigger system. You can see that Maltese cross logo externally, that's the symbol of the brand. 2 triggers, sure tight until you press both, it will stay shut. You can even see that each one of the triggers has a little bit of a Maltese cross profile. Rolling back to the case, you can see that the bracelet is held on with screws and bars. No spring bars here. The screws and bars are more secure. More expensive, yes, but this watch is worth it. Now, the case band is beautifully polished. There's also a transitional bevel that runs from the lug hoods all the way to the opposite side of the watch. And then if you look, there's a distinction between the satin-finished recesses of the bezel and its polished outer face. You can also note that the bezel profile has, again, that Maltese cross motif. Rotating all the way, we're going to rotate to take a look at the pushers and the crown. All screw down. The watch is exceptionally, for a high horology watch, 150 meters water resistant. You can see the Maltese cross again on the crown, and then a knurling, a sort of slash cut knurling on all 3 that actually looks like the Maltese cross yet again. They are screw downs, they're not just shouldered, so you do have to screw them out to gain access. There's a column wheel in the chronograph caliber, so it's a very crisp actuation feel. It's also a vertical clutch, which allows you to start the chronograph without any jump to the seconds hand. It starts without any play. That's what the vertical clutch does for you. The other thing the vertical clutch does is it allows you to leave the chronograph engaged with no additional wear and tear to the movement. So if you just like to have your minutes, your hours, and your seconds at center, you can just pretend that is your seconds hand. Now, the watch features a double-digit date that has a quick set. This feature was introduced on the original Overseas Chronograph when that came out in 1999, and it remained in the catalog on the Overseas Chronograph through 2015, at the end of which the old model was phased out and a new model was phased in. The new model features a single date down at about 5 o'clock. No one likes that. Everyone misses this design. Sometimes older is better, and progress is illusory. The new watch is great, but this watch is better balanced. That said, there is some calculated asymmetry, as it uses a big eye style chronograph register for the minutes, making it easier to read the minutes register. The logo, the hours, as well as the hands, all 18-karat rose gold to resist oxidation and tarnish, and you can see there is a bright polished chapter ring for each of the sub-registers, and a scale outboard against which the seconds and the minutes can be read. And the timepiece features a nickel anthracite dial base. The case back is solid, and underneath it, a soft iron cage designed to give this watch 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetism. Remember, an anti-magnetic watch per ISO is 4,800 amperes per meter, so this is 25,000, considerably more. Also 150 meters water resistant. You can see there are 4 different finishes on this case back. There's the polish relieved ship and waves. There's the frosting or chiseled pattern beneath it. There's radial satin finish on the inner case case back, and then there is a circumferential satin finish at the edge. The image is the Italian naval training vessel Amerigo Vespucci, said to be the most beautiful square-rigged ship in the world. And then what's inside is a Frédéric Piguet 1185 automatic winding chronograph doing business as Vacheron 1137. The Piguet is an exceptional movement, under 6 millimeters thick, automatic winding with unidirectional action, 40-hour power reserve, vertical clutch, column wheel, a quick set system, 5-position adjustment, 37 joules. The only refinement it lacks is hacking seconds. But if you were to pop this watch open, you would find that the finish is truly high horology, as Frédéric Piguet is now known as Manufacture Blancpain. So it's a high horology exterior with a high horology beating heart. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Back with the Overseas by Night.